Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thiruchitrambalam. Welcome. In the previous presentation, we saw the beauty of the goddess Abhiraami explained in detail in the very first poem, starting as Udikindra Sengadir. In that poem, Abhiraami Bhattar's unflinching devotion makes him visualize the invisible goddess. He can even sense the smell radiating from the body of the goddess when he sings Menkadi Kungumattoyamenna Vidikindrameni Abhirami Endan Vizhittunaye. Those who experience the grace of Abhirami have noted that she appears red. Abhirami Bhattar considers Abhirami as his eternal support and companion. Now, in the second poem, Abhirami Bhattar goes one step further by describing her as the Miss Universe or the Miss World of all the three worlds, calling her Tripura Sundari. Let us listen to the poem.
துணையும் தொழும் தெய்வமும் பெற்ற தாயும் சுருதிகளில் பணையும் கொழுந்தும் பதிகொண்ட வேரும் பனிமலர் பூங்கணையும் கருப்பு சிலையுமென் பாசாங்குசமும் கையில் அணையும் திரிபுர சுந்தரி ஆவது அறிந்தனமே.
Let us get an insight into the 4 lines of the poem. First, Thunayum Tozhum Deivamum. Let's start with the word Thunai. Thunai here refers to companion. Thiruvalluvar, one of the greatest saints of this world, whose Tamil work Thirukkural has been translated into innumerable world languages and called a Ulaga Podumarai because of its universal appeal for all times, calls a wife as Thunai. In fact, Thiruvalluvar has written a whole adhikaram or chapter in Thirukkural called Vazhkai Thunai Nalam. Why is a Thunai required? When would we need a Thunai? Upon introspection, it would be fair to say a companion can provide moral and physical support whenever fear grips our heart, when we are faced with challenges in life, or when we go through tough times. Arunagirinadar, the great poet saint, says in Kandar Alangaram, Vizhikku Thunai திருமென்மலர் பாதங்கள், மெய்மை குன்றாம் மொழிக்குத் துணை முருகா முருகா எனும் நாமங்கள், முன்பு செய்த பழிக்குத் துணை அவன் பன்னிரு தோளும், பயந்த தனி வழிக்குத் துணை வடிவேலும் செங்கோடன் மயூரமுமே. Similarly, Avvayar, another saint, says துணையோடல்லாது நெடுவழி போகேல், which means don't venture out without a companion on long journeys. From these, it is clear Thunai is hugely important in human lives. When Abhiraami Bhattar says Thunayum Thodum Deivamum Petra Thayum, he calls out the goddess as his consort. She is also the one who is worshipped in the godly form, and he also calls her as his mother. It must be noted here that Abhiraami Bhattar places the biological mother to be even better than that of the godly form. He didn't sing Thunayum Petra Thayum Thodum Deivamum. In line with what is generally taught in the Sanatana Dharma as Mata, Pita, Guru, and only finally Deivam, mother is given the highest importance here. Next, it is Surudigalin Panayum Kozhundum Padikonda Verum. Surudi here refers to the Vedas, and if we imagine the Vedas to be a tree, then for Abhiraami Bhattar it is all Abhiraami. The whole tree is Abhiraami. She is like a tree of holy words and sounds. This tree germinated from the origin of this universe and is still growing. She lives in the root, the trunks, branches, and the new tender leaves. The tree keeps growing eternally. Padikonda Verum refers to the root, which in this case is the Omkara Pranavam that forms as the basis for the Vedas. The third line refers to Panimalar Poonkanayum Karuppuchilayum Men Pasankusamum. I am sure many of us would have had this question during our childhood or now as to why does the goddess have more than 2 hands? The gods and goddesses in Sanatana Dharma possess certain objects in their hands. These are symbols representing another meaning or philosophy. Since the number of symbols are generally more, 2 hands are not enough to hold all these things. Therefore, it is easier to visualize more hands than anything else to hold these symbols. Moreover, when such symbols are shown in paintings and sculptures, the static posture in just 2 hands cannot hold all these symbols. The frozen time in non-dynamic representation in arts and sculptures, unlike in motion pictures, is a challenge for artists, which can be solved by introducing more hands. Okay, fair enough. Why flower arrows, bow made of sugar cane, rope, and angusam, which acts like a spear? It must be noted the sugar cane bow and flower arrows belong to Manmada or Kamadeva, responsible for the creation aspects in the world. The Pasa rope and angusam are weapons of Yama, the lord of death. We may have noticed on news bulletins when people such as extremists surrender their weapons to the government agencies like police, who collect the weapons with an intent to protect the citizens. Here, Abhiraami Bhattar appears to be referring to the fact that both Manmada and Yama have surrendered their weapons to the goddess, who is in possession of these in her hands. By having these with her, it is symbolically known that she helps her devotees who take refuge in her to overcome the cycle of birth and death. Surely, it's a beautiful way of thinking. பனிமலர் பூங்கணையும் கருப்புச் சிலையும் மென் பாசாங்குசமும் கையில் அணையும். She manifests herself as mother, friend, lover, consort, sister, daughter, and above all, the goddess. Finally, Tiripura Sundari ஆவது அறிந்தனமே. Abhiraami Bhattar appears to have realized the internal beauty of the goddess and declares her to be the most beautiful woman across the three worlds. What a lovely way to end the poem. துணையும் தொழும் தெய்வமும் பெற்ற தாயும் சுருதிகளின் பனையும் கொழுந்தும் பதிகொண்ட வேரும் பனிமலர் பூங்கணையும் கருப்புச் சிலையும் மென் பாசாங்குசமும் கையில் அணையும் திரிபுர சுந்தரி ஆவது அறிந்தனமே. Wow! This brings us to the end of this presentation, and we'll discuss the third poem in the next one. Tiruchitrambalam. Om. Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukhabhag bhavet. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.